Man, what a day one of the Ashes it has been. We always say, oldest cricketing rivalry in tests, and my God, it didn't disappoint. But obviously, there's going to be one major talking point, and we'll obviously get to those in just a bit. The major one being, man, what is that Perth pitch looking like? And what exactly have we just seen? 19 wickets in a single day. So you were telling me some numbers, just enlighten our viewers as well.
So in the last 100 years, only 2 times has an opening day seen 15 or more wickets fall in an Ashes encounter. Opening day of the Ashes.
When was the last?
The last was 2005 Lords.
I was about to say 2005, was it?
Yes, 2005 Lords.
Yeah.
And we all know how that series panned out.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminded me of 2024 BGT. India were undone for a below 200 score, but then we saw the damage that Jasprit Bumrah created on that day. But here, 7-star Starc, probably undone by 5-star Ben Stokes, because 2 clutch players.
It could be 6-star by the end of it.
It could be 6-star, but Ben Stokes, man, come at the hour, come at the man. What a spell of bowling towards the fag end of the day that has seen Australia lose 9 wickets, trailing by 49. Stokes with 5 for 23, Bryden Cast with 2 for 45, Mark Wood bowling absolute thunderbolts at 150 kmph on the spicy Perth wicket. Good luck with that. Archer, 4 overs that I saw in the beginning, 4 overs, none for 1. It was Test cricket at its finest today in beautiful conditions in Australia. But why are we so blinded by the Ashes? 19 wickets have fallen at the end of the day. Criticize this pitch. What a terrible advertisement for Test cricket.
I will criticize the pitch a little bit. I mean, come on. At first, I came prepared. I'm like, okay, chalo, there's another time where we get to sing the same old song and dance. That baseball cricketers, they're one note, their style is one dimension, they only know how to play one way, they can't adapt. And then I'm like, wait, the Australian team got out and could potentially be conceding a first innings lead, playing what I saw as very conventional Test cricket. None of them were looking for expansive shots. Hell, at one point when I was watching Smith and Labuschagne bat, I thought they were settled into bat 3 days.
Labuschagne played 40 odd deliveries, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. And then I'm watching some of the bowling, and by the way, this is an unpopular take, but I think a lot of people will agree with it factually. This is probably the best England bowling that I have seen down under. In probably my entire generation, my entire cricket watching fandom. Because for years they would always go with Anderson Broad. And Anderson Broad, great as they are at home, never able to have the same impact in Australia. This bowling lineup though, my God, they look like they are primed to actually make an impact in Australia because they're similar bowlers. All guys, they're looking to hit the deck hard. 150 clicks, all of them can cross, with the exception of Cars. He's the only one, but still, he gives a valuable option.
He was bowling close to 140 today.
Exactly.
Many of his deliveries were in excess of 135. It's not bad at all.
And the kind of bounce he generates with that leap adds obviously a batting option as well. I would say for England, and I never thought I was saying this after the innings change, they'd be the happier team of the day.
They made a big statement. I mean, opening games, when you look at it in Australia, if you look at this entire 21st century, only once they have won the opening game of the Ashes in Australia. That was way back in 2011. But I think that 2011 lineup was far more rounded. I mean, you had Anderson in prime form. Broad got injured, but then you had a Tremlett who could hit the deck.
Yeah.
You had Jim Bresnan,
Another one
awesome proponent of reverse swing. And the difference maker was Graham Swan. Let's make no mistake about it. It was Swan who really managed to ensure that England were all over the place against Australia in that series. But here, I mean, I agree with you. 5-pronged pace attack with your only spinner being Joe Root.
Yeah.
But Australia also, look at it. 563 wickets, Nathan Lyon got only 2 overs. It shows this is going the 2024 BGT match. England getting a lead, they will get the best batting conditions on day 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It will only get better now because unless you overbowled Mitchell Starc, I mean 12.57 for 58, but this is where the problem lies. Boland, I think England have found a way to counter him. Ever since that 2021 series, he went for 62.
He did, but he was unusually full today, I felt. you see him being very metronomical on most days, where he's only going to be bowling, off stump, fourth stump, fifth stump. That's his corridor, and he pretty much knows what length to bowl as well. Today, though, every 8 deliveries there was a loosener, and that was very unlike Boland.
Who would have, if England, I don't think they'd even cross 150. They seriously missed Hazelwood.
Hazelwood, yes. Absolutely.
Hazelwood on this wicket would have been sublime. He would have outbowled Mitchell Starc on this wicket, but he got 7 for 58 in an absolute brilliant, magnificent display of fast bowling that I've seen. Starc, what a legend, yeah. What a legendary bowler.
We were going back before this, the last time there was an opening test match of an Ashes in Australia. He got a wicket of the first ball, and everyone's thinking, oh, you're going to get that, He doesn't get that. He gets it in the first.
Last ball of the first over.
Yeah, and he gets, of course, Mr. Zach Crawley himself.
If I'm not wrong, that's the thing with the Ashes. If I'm not wrong, the previous Ashes in England, it started with the boundary, right?
Yes.
It was Zach Crawley hitting a boundary. I don't remember who the bowler was at that time. Must have been Starc.
Probably Starc.
Or it was Hazelwood, if I'm not mistaken.
And then, come the 2025 Ashes, you get greeted with a wicket in the first over. There is something about the Ashes you've got to love.
Yeah, but again, let's focus a bit on the pitch. Why can't we criticize first day 19 wicket pitch?
I am.
In the subcontinent, when even 15, 16 wickets go, we say, oh, what a sandpit of a wicket it
is. Yeah, this was a spicy deck, and truth be told, I don't know, I'm not sure. Is Perth a drop-in? Perth is a drop-in, right?
Yeah, Perth's a drop-in.
Yeah, so I've noticed that Perth usually tends to obviously veer on the spicier side. Optus Stadium, obviously trying to take some cues from Waka, its spiritual predecessor, but it tends to often ease out on day 2 or 3. So day 1 is obviously more often than not the worst conditions to bat in hindsight. And I don't know whether this is something, of course I'm saying it only in hindsight. If I was Stokes, I may well have opted to bowl. Not that it would have made much of a difference, as you can see, but usually you tend to get better batting conditions day 2, 3, 4. Remember, Kohli's only century came, it was in that Perth test, and we were thinking, oh, this is a spicy pitch, this, that. But that didn't really turn out to be the case. Match went long. I'm going to wait, but I also don't understand the science behind the pitch making here, because quite frankly, drop-ins are not an exact science. There is a lot that goes into drop-ins, and not just that, this particular drop-in, they found some consistency, but the consistency is that it will always be spicy on day 1. And that's it. After that, it is benign. So I don't quite understand what this thing is here, but yeah, I do think this is, I enjoy watching fast bowlers get helpful conditions, but you can't really put this down to baseball being baseball. It wasn't that. Even Australia were playing conservative, proper test cricket, but they also got outdone. Yeah, there were a few bad shots there. That Travis Head says hello, but other than that, I did think that a lot of times they were just outdone by some good bowling, aided by very friendly conditions.
I wouldn't put this down to wicket at all. I know 19 wickets have fallen, but the pitch, I think you know what to expect. And this isn't the first time you're seeing a spicy or a bouncy pitch at not you can't say the Waka now, but as Shane rightly said, you take inspiration. It's the spiritual home of bouncy, spicy decks, not too far away from the Optus, right? And that's exactly what you expect at the Optus. So whether it is day 1, day 2, really doesn't matter much. When you're heading into the Optus, when you're heading to Perth, that you will be getting bouncy conditions, and that's exactly what I saw. There was consistent bounce on offer, and that is something you expect both sides of the batters to negotiate with, and you didn't see that happen all over the day. So I'd probably fault the batters over here for not being able to adjust to the conditions at hand. There was nothing new that Perth provided, and yeah, I would just say that the story could have been very different. Yes, we were entertained, and all of that, 19 wickets to fall, most of them to, in fact, all of them to just pacers. So it makes for good entertainment. But it's just bad batting.
Totally agree.
Look at the fact that there were a couple of partnerships that England managed to stitch. Australia didn't do that. There was a Labuschagne who played about 40 odd deliveries. There is Harry Brook who played 60 odd deliveries. Ollie Pope, The most unlike of those, I would say, the unlikely candidate going into the Ashes. I would have expected on these tough on this tough track to be able to negotiate with the bounce, but he managed to stick around for 10 overs also.
And looked in good touch, 46 or 58.
Yes, he was driving the ball very well. So my point being, again, I think it was just down to poor application. England, just I would say, were in a bit of a hurry, as you would expect them to be. But if they had also shown some more resolve, also the Australian batters, perhaps the story could have been very, very different. Not the wicket, to me, is the reason why we saw these 19 wickets.
But you know, one thing else I've noticed when looking at the scorecard is even the English batters who managed to who were successful, they were the ones who were trying to be enterprising. So
Look at that Harry Brook dismissal. Would you put that down to the pitch? Not really. Again, you failed to gauge the bounce, and yeah, you were caught in an awkward situation. Look at the wicket of Jamie Smith. Two of those batters, I think Jamie Smith was one. Can't remember who the other was trying to pull the ball and got caught on the leg side. I think it was Bryden Cars, the other one who tried to hoik the ball. And again, there were fielders who were planted on the leg side, and you just did not. Take that into account and went for your shots. I know, in fact, Cards had timed it real well, and he would have thought that he'd clear the boundary. But I'd just say better batting. One of the teams could have been happier than they are right now.
I mean, if you look at Australia for the past 7-8 years, batting averages in Australia have really slumped. If you look at visitors, if you look at even the home batters, I mean, the change of conditions, the extra lacquer in the Kookaburra ball that was there, the seam and everything. Mitchell Starc had said we want spicy wickets. Well, I think he's taken up after his KKR winter. Look, you've got a spicy wicket, but Australia have fallen into the Wile E. Coyote effect. So that is why, look, batting in Australia in the past 5-6 years has not been easy. And it's gotten even tougher post-COVID. So that is where these kind of scores are not surprising. One. Second, today, I think England managed their best combination that you can have, and I think you will keep this combination even heading into Brisbane, because Brisbane, that's a ping ball test match. You're not playing a ping ball test match in Adelaide, you're playing it in Brisbane. So good luck in trying to ensure that the combination's maintained at that time as well. But I'm only saying this. These are two batting lineups who can't play seam and swing conditions. England have been brought up on flat, road-like short fronts. That is why you can get 400, 300 in England. But in Australia, even when their own local batters have failed, look at it. Smith, when was the last time he had barring the BGT, against any other opposition, when did he have a great series? Even he has had a downfall. So that's why two batting units who just can't play seam and swing.
It does coincide with the fact that they were toying around, and he himself was willing to get himself promoted up the order. That didn't work out well. Yeah. Now, though, he's, I think, in his natural habitat where he should, as the series progresses, do well.
But are Australia already staring down the barrel in this test match?
I think they are because again, see, at this point they're trailing by about 49.
Yeah.
And the two players who are out there are not exactly known to be getting decent runs. Look, Lyon can hang around there when it comes down to it, but he needs another partner at the other end who's going to get runs. Who does he have? He has Doggett.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's nothing. I mean, it's your first test. You're out there trying to get or ensure that you can shave off as many runs, so that there's something of this thing that the lead isn't that big. I think if I'm England, I try and get that last wicket tomorrow ASAP and then come out and see what the conditions are like, because again, I don't know. It could very well be that the conditions don't get better, but you'll have to take a moment and assess.
Yeah.
You have to take a moment, assess and say, okay, look, if it is going to play similarly, then maybe playing a lottery style might not be so bad. But if it's you're finding that the ball is not bouncing, there's no extra spicy bounce, there's not that much movement on offer, I'd say knuckle down, bat long. Bat as long as possible, then set them a big target. But I do think at this point, if I'm talking about which dressing room would I want to be in, I think the England dressing room is way happier with how things panned out.
I think at the start of the match, 10 hours back, if you told England that this would be it by the end of day one, they'd take it with both hands. And I think England have surprised not just themselves perhaps, but everyone. You were expecting it to be Australia's domination across these 2 months of the Ashes, but England really have given themselves a chance over here. They may not be able to sniff the win yet, because you still... just at the halfway stage of the match, the second innings is still not ended of the match. But England really have given themselves a chance. And if there was one wicket, we saw that with the BGT as well. Perth is where India made a statement too.
Yeah.
This is probably England's chance. And there is more than just cricket when you're talking about the Ashes. There is so much that will happen, and there is no way that you can not have those things come your way as the Ashes unfolds. So there's going to be verbal volleys, there's going to be mind games, all of that at play as well. And yeah, when you have that lead right up front, then it just changes everything. So England, I think, have exactly, or they're probably exactly in that situation as India were at the start of the BGT. Yes, by the end of it, the rightful winners, ended up, claiming the other test matches. This could be the story here as well. But nobody thought that this is how it would play out on day one. And England really have a chance now.
If you look at our predictions, we all predicted yesterday in the dugout that would be a very close series.
In fact, it says very much that everyone was going for a different direction. Siddharth said that Australia will win. He said England will win the series.
3-2.
What are you saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
He picked England to win the series. Nikhil said it will be Australia, but it will be close. I said it was going for a 2-all draw. So it tells you how close things are, that actually every single option seems very feasible. This is not.
Which match are you going for as a draw? Sydney?
Yeah,
Rain.
probably Sydney.
Yeah.
Probably
Because of the
Sydney.
rain.
Yeah, that was the one I was expecting. Because see, there's no way you're not getting a result.
And Perth, for all 5 days, it's bright sunshine.
Exactly. Sydney was the one I was thinking potentially either the pitch might this thing, or more importantly, you might end up getting rain, which will
The last time, 2021, Sydney was the venue which ensured England didn't have a final whitewash.
Yeah.
1 wicket to go, they somehow hung in. And in 2017, a bad pitch at Melbourne ensured that they managed to not lose that.
I
So
think I'm going to go 4-1 over here.
4-1 for Australia or England.
Yeah. See, once Starc, gets the company of Hazelgod and Pat Cummins, things change completely.
Of course, but how and when will they come back, that we don't know.
See, with Cummins, he's probably returning for the second match.
No guarantee.
Hazelwood's returning.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Hazelwood is returning. Cummins, there's no guarantee yet. There's been no statement, no this thing. And
No
remember,
statement, but I saw visuals of him bowl the other day in the nets.
Exactly.
And yeah, let's see. If they're all there, if you see the trio for the next 4 matches from this point, there's no way I see Australia lose.
Yeah, then the equation changes.
Yeah.
Because see, pink ball, Starc and Hazelwood, good luck.
and Cummins in that sort of a situation.
And if you have to look at it, Adelaide, maybe since it's not doing ping ball, I don't know how the pitch will behave. Because the last time you played a red ball test in Australia, lost that match against India by 31. But before we get to the comments, a word on the spells by Starc and Stokes.
It was like, I see your Starc, I raise you Stokes. And by the way, both were playing very different roles. That's also something that you have to remember. Starc took on the mantle with the new ball. He went and dismantled the innings early and then ran through the tail. For Stokes, it was very calculated because he was every other of the seamers bowled before him. There was no one who didn't bowl.
Third change effect.
Yeah, he was effectively the third change seamer because Cast bowled before him, Atkinson bowled, Wood, obviously Archer. He came in later on, but by God, when he started off, it was just metronomic, consistent, intense, and he just did what he does best. And these are the kind of things like I remember, and he is, you've given him good conditions here. I'll never forget that test match where I don't know which one it was in the India series only.
Lords.
Where he was the best bowler.
Lords.
He was the best bowler.
He, I think, bowled 14 overs on the trot. If I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
What was
14 overs on the trot.
Stupendous about that spell. I just cannot forget the fact that he was bowling against the slope. He wasn't bowling from the end that gives you assistance to the slope. He was bowling from the other end and was getting to move away. And with the wicket of KL Rahul, I think he picked. It had so much to say about the kind of control that he had and the kind of rhythm he had found at Lords. He was just unplayable. And today as well, I think world over, if your name's Benjamin, you can really cause havoc.
And what about Starc, man? We talk about, players in there. He's what, 35 now?
35, 36.
What about pacers in their 30s, slowing things down, this, that. Every ball was about 140 clicks practically. Yeah, madness.
35 years of age.
Yeah, 35 years of age. You're supposed to be slowing down. He'll turn 36 soon, by the way. So not even 35.
Yeah.
So he's turning 36 in a couple of months. And the intensity remains, the pace remains. Of course, his mastery of getting the ball to move at that pace always been there. The fact that he can still bowl at that pace, phenomenal. and with the same intensity throughout, because there was not one time where I saw his speed really drop. It was always in the 140s to mid 140s and there and thereabouts. Obviously, I think the days of him clocking 150 on a consistent basis done. But the fact that he's still clocking 140
At
odd.
the age of 35, come on.
Exactly.
If you can, again, I would have this version of Starc day in, day out, where I may not be getting 145, 150 clicks, but if I can have a Joe Root square up while he's not even opened the scoring, I'll take this version of mid Starc day in.
So
day
did you see
out.
what he did to Ben Stokes? Set him up badly.
Outswing,
Constant outswing, then gets one back to
Yeah.
He did that even in Melbourne in 2021.
I also reminds me of the dismissal. I always remember that dismissal 2019 World Cup. Oh no, the 2019 World Cup was against Starc. He got one to absolutely nab back into Stokes.
that Yorker, he was going
and
so well.
Stokes just dropped his bat. What can I do about it?
No, Stokes been set up. Remember,
Shami did it.
Shami did it. The way Shami did it was, he looked. You need a new idiom for it, because he was more than just a cat on a hot tin roof that time.
I mean, imagine. But if England can win the Ashes under Ben Stokes, we shouldn't be surprised. He's clutch, after all.
I mean, I'll never forget his first ever Test 100
Yeah.
Perth.
on that horrible pitch where they jammed a phone into the pitch.
No, that was sometime later.
No, I'm saying,
but another Perth wicket, but this had cracks, which was like the Grand Canyon.
I remember one of those balls. I think it was Lyon who bowled it.
and
It
then
spun.
Smith had,
It was like, it was a leg
slip. He
slip.
caught it. Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening here?
You know how much was the degree of turn? 27 degree turn. It pitched on middle and off, turned to leg gully,
was
and
mad.
Warner took the catch.
And he scored 100 on
No,
that pitch.
I'm pretty sure it was Smith.
No, it was Warner. He mimed. Yeah, that was Warner. That was Warner.
Warner?
Yeah, that was
Warner,
Warner.
yeah.
Because that clip has been doing the rounds on social media
And
again.
he got 100 in that, which showed clutch Ben Stokes.
Insane mentality, and that was 2014.
Yeah.
So
Things haven't changed. 11 years, 2013 rather. But
Yeah.
12 years of Benjamin Andrew Stokes and his dominance. Mitchell Starc, what a freak. And this is just the beginning. He has another test by which he's going to show his brilliance. The pink ball test.
Of course.
The pink ball is his ultimate, if you have to look at it. Like how Popeye likes spinach, if you want to get that strength. For Starc, get the pink ball and he'll...
do not talk about ping ball test to Indian fans, Siddharth. We always remember that one number.
Yes. we do.
36.
No, don't ever mention it to the West Indies. 27.
27.
Yeah. That's when Starc in his 100 test got 6 wickets.
And Scott Boland, I think, picked up 2 or 3. Hat-trick.
He got a hat-trick in that game. So yeah, the pink ball test is Starc's domain, and yeah, we agree. Both clutch performances. Starc 7 for 58. I think it's his best ever haul, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
is.
Best ever haul, and I think 4th 5-wicket haul in Ashes history.
Oof.
Madness.
Yeah. And Ben Stokes.
He's touched 100 wickets against England now.
Oh,
Let me,
Yeah,
I think I
could
read
be,
something
could
like
be.
that.
He's, I think, very close now to, of course, I think Wasim's number.
of course.
Overall test wickets. He's very close.
Wasim Akram got 414.
Yeah.
Starc now I think has got 409.
Starc's completed 100 Ashes wickets.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So, yeah, if he gets another 5-6 wickets, he'll become the greatest ever left arm pacer ever.
Statistically speaking.
Statistically, in the history of the game. And if he goes past 433, he'll become the greatest left arm bowler ever. Rangana Herath 433. Dale Steyn 439. He's a right arm. Rest all are right handers. Murli, Vaughan, Kumble,
Anderson.
Broad, Anderson.
Also, 10 times now that Starc has dismissed Stokes.
Yeah,
in
that was his
Test
10th
cricket.
dismissal.
Yeah.
He is clutch. A clutch guy can get a clutch guy.
Only a clutch guy gets a clutch guy.
Yes.
Simple as
clutch.
that.
Clutch for clutch. So indeed, it was a riveting day indeed. And again, the broadcasting quality, the pitches, 2 teams. You do wake up at 7:50
And
a.m.
the
for it.
audiences.
Packed house.
Crowds. Packed house at Perth, man.
To the rafters.
40 or 1,000 it was in the morning only.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think capacity is 60,000, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, at Optus. So,
Lovely to see such a huge crowd turn up. Lovely.
yeah. And all the
And
test
you know, while those shots of the crowd, were there, I'm like, this is a nation which doesn't even greet its world champions.
Yeah.
And then they turn up like this for Test cricket. There's only, Australians perhaps can only understand this, how they work. Such a good reception over there today. Such adulation for good Test cricket. They all turn up in anticipation, and
every test match is sold out in the Ashes.
lovely
Every
to
test
see.
match.
And
Yeah.
then there's a World Cup winner that comes dragging his own bag with nobody to greet him. It happened.
He goes and has
exactly
a few pints.
It happened exactly 2 years back.
2 years, 2 days ago, it
Yeah.
happened. But yeah, So that's why, I mean, Ashes cricket, everybody would want to wake up at 5:30 a.m. or 7:50 a.m. to see these kind of things. And that's why it is the ultimate. I mean, there are only two rivalries in world cricket. Let's be very honest about it. England, Australia, I know that it's been very one-sided in Australia, but in England, it's been very tense. But now, this is a 150-year-old rivalry. Let's respect that. And India, Australia. That's it. There is no other rivalry that comes close to the intensity. To what, if you want to wake up, wow, I will wake up to see this. And Stokes and Starc showed that you want to see good bowling.
Yeah, the other
We are the OGs at this point in
the
time.
other rivalries, I think, dwarf in comparison.
Exactly. There is no other rivalry. In Surya Kumar Yadav's words, in every other contest that is there is no rivalry.
Yeah.
India, Sri Lanka, there is no rivalry. India, West Indies, there is no rivalry. Although India, England, but it has been one-sided in India's favour.
Yeah.
It's not. It's an intense historical.
The most intense
contest.
Siddharth in Test cricket has to be these two teams.
Absolutely.
Nothing beats this,
Even the
nothing
BGT doesn't
beats
sort of
this.
come close. Also, without Virat now,
That edge is gone.
I think the nature of the rivalry changes now going
I
forward.
used a very bad. I didn't have to use it.
Said
The
edge.
edge is gone. In the BGT rivalry. Very sorry, no pun intended. What?
Yeah,
what to
so
do?
you say, Siddharth.
Exactly.
Anyway, now let's
Let's take
dive
some
into the
comments.
comments.
Yeah, because
Yeah, and
we have
I
been
know
treated
Ashes
to a
anticipate-
fascinating
Also,
day.
yeah, just an update for all of you joining us right now. This is exactly how we intend to do our coverage for the Ashes end of day. Couple of us are going to be here. We're going to be looking at the day's play and chatting up with you guys as well. So around 3 o'clock every day,
every
next
day.
2 months, match
Whoa.
days Ashes, we're going to be there with you.
Yep. Which is what Freaking Awesome is saying. In Perth, you need hit the deck kind of bowler. If you bowl full like Boland, it doesn't help much. Shorter and back of length are ideal lengths to bowl on this wicket.
Yeah.
Which is where I think, unfortunately, a Mitchell Marsh not bowling. Because he could hit the back of the length very well. And he's not been picked also. Which is why, okay, but again, the other all-rounder wouldn't have made that much difference. Bo Webster also doesn't clock 140, 145. He also bowls medium.
He's got height though with him.
Yeah, but then again, he's dibbly-dobbly, 125 in that range. So it wouldn't have made much of a difference.
Also, Beat You says, so the guys, the cricket pundits are not going to talk about 19 wickets falling on day one or one day of Test cricket and Test cricket dying because it's being played by two white nations. But Beat You, we said as much. 19 wickets falling.
Beat You, we mentioned it with a caveat. These are two units who can't play in swing and seam conditions. Period. The nature of the Perth wicket has been like this only. We don't alter the conditions. They don't tell the grounds, oh, you prepare something for our advantage. No. If it's seam and swing for England, it'll be seam and swing for even you. You go through it. Yeah. That's the difference. In India, you alter the conditions. You don't play to your strengths. Australia are also not playing to their strengths at this point in time, which is why I was...
Although, Siddharth, let's be honest, world over, the home team does say a thing or two in the ear of the curator.
But Beat You, I will just say one more thing. You have the same comment if the test match goes to the 4th or the 5th day.
Yeah, will you? Will you?
Siddharth, fat chance day 4 in this test.
No,
match.
who knows if the pitch eases out. Because what happened in the India game,
Yeah.
you lost, I think, 16 or 17 wickets on the first day. But India batted for 2 days and Australia tried for 1.5 days. Remember?
Let's see. I'll be surprised if the pitch eases out exactly the way that it eased out last year.
Yeah. Then Priyanshu's Arvind, Saeed Nizamuddin. When will Aqib Nabi get opportunity to play test matches for India? He belongs to JNK. Fantastic bowler, very promising.
Not just a bowler, he's an all-rounder technically.
Yeah.
But Aqib Nabi, again, let's wait and watch. We've seen so many people try the grind in
Domestic,
but they are not getting a chance at this point in time. And Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan. England have sacrificed everything for 3 years just for this series. England played their weak bowling against India, have unleashed Archer, Wood, Atkinson here. India missed a golden chance to win. Although Dev Pratap Singh, I will not agree with that. They played Archer on certain conditions.
Yeah.
Wood got injured, so that's why he couldn't play.
Yeah, and even Atkinson was injured throughout the series. So that's why. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure if these three guys were all available, you would have been facing them. And then in that case, I don't think you would have been 2-2. You would not have been 2-2.
It wouldn't have been 2-2. Yes, exactly.
But let's
Freaking
see.
Awesome is saying Boland is good at ping ball too.
Yes,
but,
yes.
But if Hazelwood plays, nobody else, but then Boland doesn't get a chance.
Yeah, Starc, Hazelwood, enough. Just the opening spell is enough.
Yes.
In fact, Beat You rightly points out, he's saying that Ashes is all a vibe. But the quality of cricket that was played today was horrible. 19 wickets is rare even on Turners, which I do kind of agree
But
with.
beat you, I mean, if you look at it, so Australia, South Africa, in Cape Town, 2011, you lost 23 wickets on that day. Just on one day. Gary Kirsten, he was having flu. He thought, okay, I will just sleep a bit, and then he came back. He said, okay, South Africa 12 for 1. Did it rain? But then he didn't realize that South Africa bundled out for 96. Australia bundled out for 47. And then South Africa lost another wicket in that. So 4 wickets fell on that day.
Madness.
So that is why. But yeah, if you're looking at Ashes in Australia, I agree the quality of cricket hasn't been good there. I mean, let's be very honest. 5-0, 4-0, 4-0 hardly makes for quality cricket. But the Ashes quality in England has been phenomenal.
Top notch, top notch.
I mean, 2023, the opening game, who can
2020, 2019 was good. 2023 was good. So they've actually been very good series over there.
And England will be doing, how can we draw a series when Tim Payne was leading the side in 2019?
Exactly.
So-
So let's see. Pawan Hola says that Australia might lose this match, but they'd come back surely like last year's BGT. Adelaide, Brisbane will win. Melbourne, Sydney could be anyone's game. I agree. I think, see, this test, obviously they're not the favourites, but I think the next 4 games, you might just see an evening out.
Yeah, you can. But then remember, Adelaide is not going to be pink ball. It's
Brisbane,
It's
that's it.
Brisbane this time.
And that's what really changes the equation, because Adelaide,
Yeah.
Australia do have a history of losing key matches over there.
But
But with red ball.
Red ball. I'm talking about red ball.
Red ball, yeah. I mean, England took a 1-0 lead in 2011 after winning in Adelaide.
Don't forget 2004-5, India won in Adelaide.
3-4.
3-4, sorry, 3-4.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
India won in
That was-
18-19 in Adelaide.
courtesy
Correct.
your chief selector.
Of course.
6-4, right?
6-4. And a former coach,
Rahul Dravid.
Rahul Dravid.
Dravid.
Our current, I think, COE head,
VVS
Lakshman.
VVS Lakshman.
148.
The triple 100 partnership in the
Yeah.
first innings.
And that's the way. So yeah, I do agree with you that the Ashes vibe in Australia has been bad, but England it's been phenomenal. And
Yeah.
Priyanshu is saying Stokes is here with a mission. Entire baseball was created to win Ashes in Australia. They didn't push their main bowlers in India series. Oz needs Hazelgod and Cummins back before it's
Agreed. They need at least one of them back, if not both, because then and only then you're competing. Because right now, see, there's nothing against what was
Doggett.
that? Doggett. Yeah, nothing against Doggett and nothing against like some Boland. Boland, of course, I think conditions did set him up to fail a little bit. He's someone who works better if he's
He's a
not bowling.
condition-specific bowler.
Exactly. He's if he gets some swing. Here it wasn't swing as much as it was the bounce being problematic. These kind of conditions he will get punished, and on the English batters did look at him as being that release point.
Yep.
So not just that, I do think they do need, because again, if you're looking at, I was thinking that could Australia have gone the way of England and played all pacers? The problem then would have been that they're missing 2 of their main pacers. That's the big problem. So I think they went with Lyon almost as a default, knowing that that's probably not an option in this kind of with the kind of squad permutations, combinations we have. If they had these 2 available, I think they may very well have also said that, no, Nathan, sorry mate, you sit out.
Yeah.
Oof, it did happen in Starc's 100
Okay,
test.
Sarat Chandra's comment, and this is perhaps
Yeah,
the last one we take, says that guys, just saying that don't count the Aussies out that easily. Their batting.
If it the day
That
their
day-
batting does normal and
the-
score 300 odd, with Cummins coming for the second test Starc confirmed, Hazelwood too, don't jump like we did last
I
year.
agree.
We are
Wholeheartedly agree with you that one test doesn't make a series, one swallow doesn't make a summer, and one test doesn't make an Ashes.
Yep. And Oz or England, whoever loses, retirements are loading for sure. Careers will be decided. Absolutely. In Australia, it always happens in that sense. So I think it's the end for Khwaja. That definitely, if Australia win or lose, I think definitely it's the end of Khwaja's.
The problem is that they've not been able to replace Warner yet. And I know Khwaja's not been in great form, and obviously age is definitely not on his side. But you're then
You know,
going
for Starc also, the fact that he is now going to be 36, next Ashes 2 years from now.
this might be his last.
In Australia.
I'm just
yeah.
thinking.
See, he will play 2027. He'll play the World Cup. He will play the thing, and that's it.
But are you going to play the next Ashes even in England?
yeah, 2027, June.
Yeah, he could play that actually. But
But
I
then
think
he will retire from tests, and then World Cup, he'll retire from all formats.
yeah, because he's done with T20Is anyway.
Right on the T20.
Perhaps But Siddharth, I think the WTC could happen before the WTC final if Australia were to make it.
Yeah.
Before the Ashes.
Before the Ashes, yeah.
Yeah, so that, then Ashes in England, and then there's a World Cup later that year. Good God.
Oh.
Good God. I think he might pull out the IPL that year.
I was just about to say, Starc, please be with Delhi.
Don't see it happening.
And yeah, do consider.
See, I think 2027, I think it's his last.
Yeah.
Starc. And
This
even
is the workload, yeah, Siddharth. We were talking about next year, so many players that we were talking about from the lens of the IPL. Jofra Archer made it to that conversation. Starc made it to that conversation. Cam Green made it to that conversation, because you're going to be having the IPL, you're going to be having the World Cup. And of course the Ashes in the build up to both those events. How many of these guys are going to be 100% available for the IPL? I just don't know.
yeah, we all know that today Shreyas Iyer, he's only going to be available touch and go for the IPL also.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of his injury. You can check that
We
video
sort
out.
of knew that. We did that story at that time, and you knew a couple of months ago, while we were given to believe by the BCCI that recovery has been better, and this was just the first week of him getting injured. But we spoke with experts, everyone, and you knew that a few months are gone.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly been the case.
Exactly. So, yep, that's all she wrote on day one
What
of the
a
Ashes.
day one it was.
What a day one. 19 wickets and some brilliant bowling from Starc and Stokes. And tomorrow, England might want to be in the ascendancy and get a big lead so that they'd repeat 2011, where they took a lead and won the opening season. They didn't win the opening season 2011 though. When was the last time they won an opening game in Australia? I think it was 80s. 80s. They didn't win anything in the 90s. They didn't win anything in the 2000s. They didn't win anything in 2011. Opening game. They can do it very well here. So, yep. That's about it, folks. Do join us. We'll be back for the dugout very shortly. And we'll also be building up for the India-South Africa game, which begins tomorrow.
Other test
Preview
match.
day.
Yes.
11s you guys made
Yeah,
yesterday.
we made our 11s, but today will be the predicted 11 day.
Yeah, because
Big difference.
Alright.
because now we've got every confirmation that we wanted.
So today we
Exactly.
play Chief Selector, Coach Gambhir. So Shane's going to be what today? Shane's going to be...
He'll be Gambhir.
Shane Gill?
Oh, why not? Gill is out.
Shane Pant.
Shane Pant then.
Shane Pant is then.
No, he can be Shane Gambhir.
Huh.
Because
Affiliations,
yeah.
all the
KKR.
affiliations. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be Shane Gambhir.
You can be Harshit Agarkar.
I'll be Harshit Agarkar.
I'll be Siddharth Pant.
Siddharth Pant.
Siddharth Pant.
Okay. So, let's do the dugout. That's at 6:30 p.m. Do join us then. And from me...
A couple of hours from now.
Yeah, from me, Shane and Harshit, it's bye-bye. See you soon. More videos coming your way.
Bye.
Bye.